Today I'm sharing with you some super cool little hints and tips and tricks for you to use with your digital stamps. I get asked these questions that I'm about to address today, I get asked all the time. So hopefully this is going to help you to get more out of your digistamps. I'm going to show you how to actually import your images into Microsoft Word, which I think most people have access to, even if it's a software that you don't actually pay for. There's still free ones out there that should work the same. And how to then manipulate those images a little bit, how to print them, and more importantly, I wanted to show you how to actually print your images so that you can actually watercolor with them and also do the no lines technique. So there's a lot to get through, so I need to be really fast. I'm actually working on an Apple Mac, so some of the things you might see on my screen are a little bit different to yours if you're on a normal PC, but the principles are the same. It might just be little things that change a little. Anyway, I'm going to be using the Love Always collection, so I've got that here. And I've already got my Microsoft Word open. So even if you need to get a free version, you can still do that. You just need a blank document. I like to have mine set so it's on one page so that I can see when you go up to kind of page width, you can't actually see where the ends of your pages are. So click onto the one page or zoom it. So, zoom down to 75% if you want, or, like maybe, I don't know, about 90 might be about right. That should be okay. I like to be able to see the edges of my paper so I know exactly where I'm putting anything. And then all you need to do is actually, I've got my images open here. So open them up in Windows Explorer or in your Mac Finder, and you can either just drag the images in, or you can go into insert, and then you'll be able, if you go insert and then pictures and choose picture from file, you'll be able to select the pictures that way, the images that way. So now I'm going to have to go quite fast because this will be a long video if I don't. So when you click on the picture in Word, look, it literally just, you can scroll it. So just go to that bottom right hand corner and you can resize it. Now in Word, if you can see what's happening here, it's a bit difficult to control here, and that's because Word does a thing called snap. And what it does is it snaps one image to another, or if you had text in here, it would snap to the image to the text. So all we need to do to get rid of that, because it's a bit annoying, is that you go in and you right click, format picture, and then if you go up here, you can see you've got different things here. Where are we? Bear with me. I'm in the wrong thing. So size and position, I think I need. Yeah, okay. So size and position, sorry. So forget format picture, we'll come to that later. So size and position, let me show you that again, just so that you get it right. So size and position here, and it's just above format fit picture, look. So size and position. Now, if you were making a card and you specifically wanted an image that was going to be, say, 4 centimeters tall, this is where you can put that in there. So you can actually go, okay, that's 4 centimeters, but here it'll kind of do it in what we call Pro, so it'll automatically alter it and scale it. Or you can do it in percentage, look, so you can scale there. So I'm just going to cancel off that because I don't want to do that. So just going to go back. So we've got position. I kind of ignore that. That's more for if you're laying a text document out. What we really want is text wrap. So in text wrap, this is kind of where you would format how you if you were making a document, it's how you would format where your text and pictures are in relation to each other. Now I find the best option here is to go behind text. And when you click that, what it means is that you can now I can't do it, and you need to do it, if you've opened 2 images, you need to do it on both. So I'm going to go back here and do it on that one as well. And what happens now is, look, I can move this wherever I want, and I can move that one wherever I want, because we've actually kind of removed those parameters that Word's telling us we have to place something and snap it up to each other. Now look what happens when you do that. Look, because our images are PNG images with this clear background, like when I drag it on here, I can't, but basically there's no background, but the actual characters are coloured white. So if I go to put that one under there, look, you can actually start to merge your scenes and create little scenes. So these little bunnies, little Mr. Cartloads here could be bringing these bunnies some flowers, and look, it's a whole little scene. So you can start to overlay these. If you wanted to bring this one to the front, because they're behind, look, right now, so he's in front, look, he's obliterating those. So if you wanted to change the order, what you can do is just select it, right click, and then where it says gosh, where is it? Here, sorry, where it says bring to front, if you click bring to front, and look, that actually places it in front of the other image. And equally, what you can do is you can go centre back as well. So you can do that. And you can do that one step at a time if you had lots of pictures. Anyway, so that's one really cool little trick, and I'm sure you'll find that really useful. I'm on an 8A4 here, which if you're in the US is a little bit bigger than an 8.5 by 11, so you'd be on that sort of size. But a standard sort of A6 or A2 card size basically is 4. You get 4 of those onto an A4. So what that enables me to do is kind of go, okay, well, the middle of my page is here and the middle of my page is here. So what that means is I can actually get 4 images on here, and I know that by doing 4 images together, they're roughly going to be about the right size that I actually want. Now, if you, right, hang on, sorry, I've done something on a Mac that you can't do there. So what you can then do is you just click on it, copy it, and paste it. And there you are, you've got a second image there. And you can actually set your sheet up how you want. Obviously, if you want them even smaller, you can do that. If you want a sheet landscape, you can do that. So you're not wasting your paper. So you can just copy and paste, Control C, Control V if you want to do it that way, or you can right click. And now we've got 4 images on the sheet. And when I print those out, I know they're going to be pretty much perfectly sized, because my actual card size is going to kind of be more or less in this size that I want. So now when I come to print, this is where it gets really cool. So again, just bear in mind I'm on a Mac, so there's some of the things you see might be slightly different, but it's the same things. So I'm just going to pick my little Canon printer, which is my inkjet, and what I can do now, if I wanted to actually print this, make sure you click black and white for a start, because you don't want to, if you don't click black and white, when you go to print, you'll be using your colour ink, which is the most expensive ink. So make sure you print black and white, and you can just print that and off it goes. Now, the other thing that you can do is that if you go into these settings here, so I've got, this is a new printer I've just installed. So if you go into layout, say for instance, let me just click off this. Let me get rid of these. So we've just got 1 image here. Okay. So I'm just going to go to print there again. So if I go to layout, now what happens is, and yours might be slightly different, but you will still get to this. If I go into layout now, I can actually tell it to print 2 images on the sheet. So now it doesn't show it on my screen, but I'll actually be able to print 2 of those, and it'll come out side by side. It'll automatically set them up. And if I wanted to do 4, I can do it 4. And it doesn't matter, I could have more than, that'll be 4 of the same image. If I had 2 images on there, it would do the same thing. So you would get 2 images of each. Now, the other thing that you can do as well is that, just let me click off. I'm not used to this printer, so just bear with me. So what I'm going to do now is, if I just go to print, and I need to just swap that over. And I'm in Microsoft Word, I think. So, sorry, no, medium quality, that's it. That's the proper setting that should come up. Sorry, I'm clicking around a little bit because I've literally only just installed this printer 20 minutes ago. So this is the page that should come up for me to actually just print out. It'll automatically select my paper, and it's automatically going on to normal, which most of your printers will do. Now, I know a lot of you probably print on best. With our images, you don't need to do that. I don't recommend you do that, because all you're doing is wasting lots of ink that you don't need. So the other really cool thing though is that here, if I actually select now to print on draft, if I wanted to actually do the no lines colouring technique, which I know a lot of you have been asking me about, and kind of, you know, it kind of looks a little bit scary and frightening. How on earth am I going to colour something without any lines? This is one easy way to do it. So if you just select print on draft, what will happen is that your printer will print with less ink. So instead of it coming out, these lines coming out black, it will actually come out kind of like a mid-grey. Now, on some printers and on Windows, you should be able to actually select that. I couldn't find the setting for that in here. But there is a way of actually doing it. So you can do it that way. So that's a really easy way of doing it. Now, the other way in Word of doing this, and I'm just going to put 2 there. So this is the other way of doing it. And now this is another little trick for you. I've got 2 images here. And now if you actually group those together, it becomes one image. So you only have to do something once. So I'm going to go back over here. And this is where my format picture came in. If you remember, we can go to it here. Now it's format object, I think, but it's easier just to do it from the click up here. So now, oh, hang on, I need to ungroup. Sorry, it's not going to do it when it's grouped. So click on my picture, and now I can go to format picture. And if I go up here, look, I have picture transparency. And if I press this slider, what happens is I can actually make that disappear, and I can change the transparency. And with, I'm just going to increase my view so you can see it a little bit better. So, you know, this is the normal one. This is now at, I've knocked it down right to, it's only on, I've kind of changed it down to 85%, but it's 15%. So when you actually, and this is the key to no lines, so you can make it disappear completely, but you do still want a bit of a line there, and it will print a little bit lighter than it shows on screen. So probably about 15, I did a test earlier, and I would say probably about 15% is about right. And then you can just print that, and it'll come out in this nice light grey colour. And if you want to know how to do the no lines technique, I've also got a video showing you how to do that with this as well, and I'll include this tutorial actually within that video as well, so it's there for you. So that's a really easy way of doing it. So you've got 2 ways to do the no lines technique. Also, another reason to do this technique is if you want to watercolor or you want to use distress inks, because the less ink you actually put onto your paper, obviously the more you're going to be able to watercolor with it, because inkjet is a water-based ink system. So as soon as you start adding any kind of water on there, whether it's watercolor pencils, watercolor paints, whatever, anything that's water-based, you've got a risk of actually smudging that ink. So if you're starting off with very little ink in the first place, then you know you're kind of minimizing that risk. And that's why all you need to remember is, if you want to do coloring, alcohol markers work with an inkjet printer, and watercolor markers, pens, paints work better with a laser printer. So it's the opposite way around, and it's just the same as with your ink pads. A water-based ink pad, such as a Memento, is what you need to work with your alcohol-based markers. But if you've got water-based inks or water-based paints, etc., then you need something like a StazOn or an archival ink pad to work with your water-based products as well. So I really hope that's helped you. It also, the other cool thing, while I'm just here, I'm going to just do this. Look, because we're doing this, why not actually add your sentiment on there as well? So look, we can add some text in here. So you can actually add your own sentiments and do that. You can even, a really cool little thing to, in fact, a better way to do it, rather than adding your text this way, actually, let me just remove that. Let me find where it is. Insert text box. So if I go to a text box, and you literally draw your text box here, and then you can insert your text into the text box, format it, I'm just going to center that, going to make it much bigger. And the advantage of doing this is that now I've got that in a box and I can move it around. Now, the other cool thing here, this is another reason to do this, is if you right click again and format the shape, up here now, it will automatically, when you draw a text box, it will automatically draw a line around it. It has got a line around, so make it a no line. And then the fill, it's automatically added a white fill, and I want no fill in there. So, and you can play around with that. You can put patterns and all sorts in, but look, now I can actually, if I wanted to, I could actually position that there, and it starts to be a really cool, or maybe do it over there on that one, but it starts to be a really cool, you can start to kind of put that wherever you want it to be, you know, and make lots of, if you wanted to add some extra hearts, you could draw hearts in here. Word is a very powerful program. It's very underutilized by crafters. And if you're a crafter that loves digital crafting, you don't need any other program other than Microsoft Word, really, to get you through. You can edit, we could crop this if we wanted to. If we go to crop, and what that'll happen, don't worry about that turning grey. What it's going to do is allow me to actually crop the image. So I just drag there, press enter, and now it's actually cut that image down for me. So if you didn't want all of the image in, you can do that really easily. You know, you can reshape things, we can flip things, so we can, where do we do that? Let me think. It'll be really easy. Where are we? Design. No, not in design. Draw. You see, you can draw with a, you can get a red marker, get a blue marker. Oh, look. Well, that's quite cool. That's a rainbow marker. Ooh. Oh, look, you can draw it out, you can rub it out again, look. How cool is that? Where are we? How do I flip my text? It must be in here somewhere. Format text. Anyway, play around. It's here somewhere. You can brighten it. You can change you can do so many different things. I bet it's in crop somewhere. It's a really easy thing to do. I'm just being really stupid and can't see where to do it. Look, you've got artistic effects in here. It'll give you all sorts of different options. So, you know, you can play around with this. You can recolor things. So if you had a color image, look, I've got a white one there. Look, I could actually make it green, like grey if I wanted to. It's actually made it a different color, which is, I mean, it's a long time since I've actually done this. You can remove backgrounds, you know, if you wanted to, if you had a background in something, you can do that. You know, you just mark the areas to keep. You know, you can, all of these things are undoable as well, which is really good. So let's reset picture and size. It's gone right back. I just can't find where I actually, oh, there, look. Anyway, I hope that has helped you, and you find it really useful. So check out the other video, which is all about the no lines technique, and hopefully I'll see you there. Thanks for joining me. Bye.